We prosecuted multiple BMPs, BTRs. Earlier on the 5-5.
I'm Jim Hansen of the Center for Security Policy. Welcome to the Free Fire Zone. Another lone wolf terrorist has slaughtered innocent civilians, this time in Sydney, Australia. And as usual, the media can't manage to figure out what in the world his motivations might be. Well, let me help a little bit. He was an Islamist cleric who forced the hostages to hold the black flag of jihad up in the window for the whole world to see. Even with that, the best the politicians and media can come up with is maybe it's politically motivated. Patrick Poole of PJ Media coined a very useful term for this type of terrorist, the known wolf. Even as they're busy spouting Islamist hatred openly, their apologists are busy trying to spin or ignore it. When the black flag came out in Sydney, they claimed it's just a simple prayer, the Shahada. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. And that is what the words say. But when they're printed on a black flag, waved by a gun-wielding terrorist, they mean violent jihad in the name of Allah, the not very merciful. That is made pretty clear in the official interpretations of the Quran known as hadiths. I have been commanded to fight against the people until they testify that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his prophet. I guess all of that wouldn't fit on the flag, but it is absolutely what it means, and it's ridiculous to claim otherwise. And yet they do, be clowning themselves by trying to say, well, it's not an ISIS flag, as if somehow that makes it benign. Just because this jihadi doesn't have an Al-Qaeda union card or belong to the Islamic State Local Chapter 666 doesn't mean he's not on their team. This worm in Sydney, and the savages who cut off Lee Rigby's head, and the savage who cut off Colleen Hufford's head are all on board, and unfortunately, they are excellent additions to the global jihadist movement. If there's no central planning or communications with major groups like ISIS or Al-Qaeda, there's no chance for us to intercept those and interdict the planned slaughter, especially since we've unilaterally disarmed ourselves of useful methods like profiling Muslim men from particular countries who are screaming "kill the infidels" at the top of their lungs. The most embarrassing attempts by useful idiots to distract us from the Sydney scumbag's painfully obvious motivation were those who pointed to his history as a serial rapist. Sadly, along with massacring non-believers, ritualized rape is right in the mainstream of Islamist belief and practices. Boko Haram kidnapped, raped, and forced to convert to Islam hundreds of young girls in Africa. ISIS even put out official guidelines for sex slavery and rape. Unfortunately, those have been applied to thousands of girls as young as 5 and 6 years old, sold into hellish existences. The media and politicians can try to blind us to the reality of violent Islamist extremism, but we can see the black flags. I'm Jim Hansen, and you've been in the Free Fire Zone.
Killer 5-5, good impact.
And 1-6 copies, we're pushing.
1, and your spot straight down 3 feet. There's 2, and 1 inches.